Hi, my name is Rita Zhang, and I currently work in Multicultural Affairs in higher ed. And today I'm filming a video on critical pedagogy and how I use critical pedagogy in my work as a scholar practitioner. So when I think about my own critical pedagogy, obviously it's rooted also in who I am, given that identity and reflection is a big pillar of critical pedagogy in and of itself. And so when I think back to my experiences growing up as a daughter of immigrant parents and eventually becoming the first in my family to go to college, there were many great memories, but the ones that stick out the most are actually the moments where I felt excluded or left out. For example, when I was a first year and I got into college, it's very natural for first years to hang out with other new students on your floor, and you're having conversations and getting to know each other. And some of the first conversations I remember having with the people on my floor were about things like, oh, what did you do, when you were growing up? Like, what kind of vacations did you go on? And I'd be just amazed by hearing the stories of my peers and their global adventures and great kind of memories and visiting like new and foreign lands. And I'd sit there and I'd listen, and I'd have nothing to share, because for me, summer times or vacation times, oftentimes I either stayed at home and helped take care of my younger sister, or I would work and save money, or help out the family in that way. And I just kind of listen and feel left out in those moments. And other moments were around similar types of things, like when the new friends that I made on that floor talked about, oh, so like, what was your college application like? What did you get on your SATs? And I went to a really competitive university, and so everything, like those sorts of conversations, there was an undertone of really trying to compare yourself with how you did with other people. And, some of the people would be like, oh, I did okay. I got like a 2300 on their SATs. And when I took the SATs, 24 was the max that you can get. So 2300 was like, whoa, to me. And I scored nothing near that. And I'd be embarrassed to share that. And I just kind of pretend like I forgot my score, or, and not share. And in retrospect now, when I think back to these experiences, even though at that time what I remember was just feeling left out or embarrassed or different, now I see those as distinct experiences around class and privilege and not having the same sort of capital that the peers around me did, and I didn't know how to make sense of that, and so the result was just I felt bad. So when I think about those experiences now as someone that works with students, I really make an effort to create spaces where we can be more inclusive in what we assume about each other and what people should have, or the types of scores that they should get to be worthwhile or deserving, right? Regardless of how I work with students, I intentionally incorporate reflection activities. That could be as simple as just dyads and talking about where they come from, or journals, or having those kind of conversations infused in my one-on-ones with my supervisees or student staff, even if it seems unrelated to the exact tasks or the work that they're doing, because it's very much important to me that I incorporate a holistic approach to my work with students. And even though it might not seem related, it is related because it's who they are. And not only is it important to create opportunities for students to reflect about who they are and where they come from, it's equally as important to create spaces where students can dialogue with each other about what that all means. And those dialogue moments, I think, are really the opportunities where we can really practice the tenet of challenging assumptions, because whenever we expand our worldviews with others, inevitably there will be rubs against what I believe versus what someone else believes. And my role as an educator, as a critical educator is helping students navigate through those rubs and tensions to then expanding their understanding of multiple truths in this world and how those multiple truths might also be layered with inherent experiences around oppression or power. And so those are some tips that I have as someone in my journey as a critical pedagogy sort of practitioner, and I hope that I get to hear from you all and that we continue this work in the field with our students.